UFC Fight Night Vettori versus Dolidze 2 full card prediction, and this is honestly a pretty good UFC fight card, as in it has 13 fights. That's a solid big card nowadays for the UFC. We've had back-to-back 10-fight UFC cards, a pay-per-view, and a UFC Fight Night, so hopefully we don't get any cancellations and things like that on this UFC Fight Night. But there are some good fights here. We got undefeated guys on this card: Lima, Josias, Musasa, Diyar, Nurgozhay, and I believe one more that I am forgetting. I think that might be it. Just 3 undefeated fighters, but some good prospects there in the light heavyweight, bantamweight, and flyweight division. Yuneisy, Duben is the other one I'm forgetting about. Sorry about that. We got ranked Waldo, Cortes-Acosta here. We got Kevin Vallejos making his debut, a banger co-main, and a solid, fun main event. It's not a stacked card, as in there's not a lot of big names. There really isn't any big names on this card, but in terms of fun fights, there are a lot of them on this fight card. We're going to be predicting every single fight on this UFC Fight Night in just a little bit, starting with the bottom, making our way to the top. But of course, if you do want to see all the bets we are making for this entire card, make sure to check that top link in the description down below, or check that pinned comment. You get all of my bets for an entire month. Become a channel member, check that link out. But let's get into it. Let's start with this first fight of the fight card. In the women's flyweight division, Yuneisy, Duben, and Carli, Judice in the UFC fly. What are we doing with these odds? That's what I gotta say first. They're both young, 28, 26 years old. Height and reach advantage for Carli, Judice. Power advantage for Yuneisy, Duben. Wrestling and grappling. Neither girl really uses that a crazy amount in their fights. They're both mainly strikers. What are the odds having minus 500 for Carli, Judice? I have to say that right off the bat, because that's just absolutely insane, in my personal humble opinion. Yuneisy, Duben is very live. I think this fight goes to a decision. Carli, Judice is a hard cookie to go out there and finish, or donut, because she goes by Crispy Donut. Carli, Judice, she's a hard girl to finish. She's lost 2 split decisions to Gabriela Hernandez and Ernesta Caracati. So the fight's not going to end inside the distance. This is going to be a fight that goes to a decision. Yuneisy's probably going to win round number 1, because she's got that power early on in their fights, but we don't know what she's looked like in the later rounds. All of her 6 UFC wins, not UFC, but MMA wins, are round 1 finishes and round 2 finishes. The longest she's gone is the end of round number 2, and she got a knockout. She got into a decision in the regional scene 7 years ago. So again, that's the only worry here, is I think Yuneisy wins round 1, coming forward and throwing bombs on Carli and landing on Carli, because her striking defense isn't amazing. And I think the later rounds is where Carli's going to pick it up a little bit, because she's got great cardio, and we don't know about Duben's cardio. So this is where I'm really conflicted about this matchup. The odds are stupid. Again, I think Yuneisy wins round 1. She is the better overall fighter early on if she's able to land those big shots. But we don't know about her cardio. We really do not. In the later rounds, we don't know what she's going to be looking like. So I'm going to go the dog, just because I think it's one of those coin flip women's MMA fights. 29-28 split decision, could go either way. I'm going to go Duben, because these odds are just absolutely horrendous in my opinion. This is not a fight you should be confident either way. This is a split decision matchup. Yuneisy wins round 1. Carli wins round 3. Comes down to round 2. And the cardio of Yuneisy, Duben in those later rounds. Can she land those big shots? It's very close. I'm going to go Duben, split decision, but it's a very close fight. To open up the card, I think Yuneisy stays undefeated, but that fight could literally go either way. Priscila, Cachoeira, and Josiane, Nunes. I got Josiane, Nunes winning this fight. She's a 2-1 favorite, 31 years old. Height is going for Priscila. Reach is going for Josiane, which is kind of weird. Priscilla's moving up from a women's flyweight to women's bantamweight, so she's going to be the smaller girl in mass. But again, she's going to be taller than Josiane. Josiane's just a brick of a fighter in the UFC bantamweight division. She's got the power, she's got the volume, she's got good cardio, good pressure. I don't really think wrestling and grappling is going to play too much of a factor here. It could, depending on the evolution both girls have made since their last fight. Again, it's been a year since Priscilla's last fight. It's been 6 months since Josiane's, so there could be some grappling, but I highly doubt it. I think it's mainly going to be striking and Josiane coming forward, putting on that pressure, and just landing the volume and more powerful strikes. I think this fight goes all the way. Priscila has been finished, but mainly it is going to be a submission. Armbar, Darce choke, rear naked. decision, and submission. She's never been knocked out as a professional or amateur MMA fighter. So with that being said, I think this fight goes all the way. I'm hoping for a finish. I really am curious to see what the odds are for the fight to go to a decision, because I would assume a lot of people have to be thinking Josiane goes out there and gets it done inside the distance. It's about 50-50. It's 50-50 to go all the way. I'm going to go Josiane to win by a unanimous decision. Andre Lima and Daniel Barez in the flyweight division. This is really, really close. 10-year age advantage for Andre Lima. 26 years old, 10-0, undefeated, taller and lengthier than Danny Barez. Everything is going for Andre Lima, statistically and on paper-wise. But it's a lot closer of a fight than you might think. Danny mixes in takedowns every now and then. He's got good pressure, come forward attitude. He lands some good shots every now and then. Decent power in his hands. I don't think this is going to be a domination for Andre Lima, as the odds might be suggesting, being 3-1. I think Lima will barely win this fight. Legitimately, I'm not confident at all. Again, you'll see my confident picks video tomorrow or today. I'm not confident at all in Andre Lima going out there and winning this fight. I think it's going to be a 3-round striking affair where Danny might land a good, powerful shot every now and then, and Lima will just land a little bit more volume on Daniel Barez, and I think he's going to be on more of the back foot in this matchup with Danny Barez. Danny's going to come forward, and it's just going to come down to, can Lima just continue to throw out the volume, and can Barez close that distance and land a good punch every now and then throughout this matchup. I do not expect to finish. I expect a very, very close decision. Not confident at all. I'm going to go Andre Lima, 29-28, to barely win this fight. Josias Musasa and Carlos Vera in the UFC bantamweight division. Again, 2 fights in a row where the age discrepancy is just crazy. 26 years old and 37 years old. Absolutely crazy. Height and reach also going Josias Musasa, who is the much better striker than Carlos Vera as well. He's got good pressure, good volume, good power in his hands and feet. Carlos Vera's got good grappling and could mix it in very, very well in this fight, but Josias doesn't have a significant grappling and wrestling disadvantage over Carlos Vera. I do believe he defends whatever takedowns come his way from Carlos. I think Carlos will win a round with the wrestling and grappling, but for the most part, this will be more of a striking affair between Musasa and Vera, and I think Josias is just going to be the better striker. He's going to keep it on the feet, come forward on Carlos, defend a lot of takedowns, and just land the more powerful strikes in round 1, in round 2. A little bit of a comeback for Carlos in round 3. I'm going to go 29-28 for Josias to continue to stay undefeated. Diyar, Nurgozhay, and Brendson Ribeiro in the light heavyweight division. I feel honestly really, really good about Diyar. It's light heavyweight, so you can never be super confident. Age, pretty much the same. Height advantage, Brendson reach advantage. Brendson, but kicking advantage goes Diyar. Speed advantage goes Diyar. Technique goes Diyar. He is just the better fighter. It's just Brendson. Can he catch Diyar coming in with a big shot? Well, he's probably going to win, but Diyar can easily stay back and just come forward and land kicks. Stay back, come in, land some kicks, get out. He's just got the speed and kicking advantage over Brendson. If this fight goes to a decision, Diyar Nurgozhay is going to win. If it ends by knockout, could very well be either way, in Brendson landing a good counter hook on Diyar and getting the knockout, or Diyar pressuring forward, getting Ribeiro's back to the cage and landing a big head kick like he's done in previous matchups. He's got an amazing kicking arsenal in his MMA career so far, so it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to go knockout. I'm going to go knockout round 2. I think round 1 is going to be very even, a very feeling out process type of a round. Diyar is going to find that range for the head kick, get Brendison's back to the cage, head kick him, work the body a little bit, get back up to the face, knock down Brendison, a little bit of ground and pound. I think he's going to pull it off and get another knockout here. Not going to be a super dominant round 1. I think it's going to be a pretty close round 1, feeling out process. But I think in round 2, he'll catch him and knock him out. Sam Hughes and Stephanie Luciano in the women's strawweight division. Age goes Stephanie Luciano. Height and reach goes Stephanie Luciano. Striking goes Luciano. Grappling, if it was a year ago and it was the Talita Alensar fight right after that and Luciano fought Sam Hughes, I would go Sam Hughes to win. Her grappling and wrestling since then has developed a lot. Her takedown defense has developed a lot. Her get-up game has developed a lot. Her cardio looked pretty decent in the last fight as well. I really do think her improvement on the ground has been amazing. And fighting a girl like Sam Hughes is a very, very tough test, especially in round 2, round 3, with the pressure and volume that Sam Hughes is able to implement in a lot of her matchups. But I think, again, that improvement we've seen from Stephanie, I think is going to translate here. And I think Stephanie wins round 1, wins round 2, outstriking Sam Hughes, defending the takedowns. And I think round 3 we'll get a little bit of a comeback like we always do, with Sam Hughes winning with the wrestling and grappling. I'm gonna go Luciano to win in the early rounds. Round 1, round 2. Gonna be a close one. Again, Sam can easily win this fight with that volume and cardio in the later rounds. It's just, I think Luciano's improvements have been enough for her to go out there and win this fight. 29-28, Stephanie Luciano. Waldo Cortes-Acosta and Ryan Spann in the UFC heavyweight division. Again, Ryan is moving up. He's not going to be as big or as powerful as Waldo. And most of the time when I'm predicting when a light heavyweight's moving up to heavyweight, if I'm going to be predicting that light heavyweight to win, it's if they had the speed and athleticism advantage. The reason I'm predicting Jonathan Almeida when he moved up to beat a lot of the guys in the heavyweight division was that speed and athleticism. That's how you're going to win. If you're moving from light heavyweight to heavyweight, you have to have those two things if you're going to win in the heavyweight division. Because if you're not having the speed advantage, if you don't have the athleticism over these heavyweights, you're not going to win. And in this fight, yeah, Ryan has the speed and athleticism over a lot of heavyweights. Not necessarily the case with Waldo. Waldo is very fast. He's very athletic for a heavyweight, and it's just a kind of a nightmare matchup for Ryan to make his heavyweight debut again. He's not going to be big enough. Waldo's going to have the power advantage, and he's honestly a little bit faster than Ryan Spann as well. I think this is going to be a striking match. I think the fight stays on the feet. And Waldo just outspeeds and outpowers him. I don't think enough to knock out Ryan Spann. Ryan can be knocked out like the Bogdan Guskov fight, but I don't think that happens here. I think the fight stays on the feet. Waldo's kind of a decisionator. Andrei Arlovsky, Robeles Despain, and Chase Sherman. I think the fight goes all the way. I'm going to go Waldo Cortes to outstrike him, use that speed with the punches, land some leg kicks as well, and win this fight. I don't think Ryan is getting the proper heavyweight introduction. He should be fighting a blob, but instead he's fighting a Waldo, who's not really a blob. He's got athleticism, he's got speed, and I think he wins with that. 29-28, Waldo, or Cortes-Acosta. Su Young Yu and AJ Cunningham in the UFC bantamweight division. AJ is moving down a weight class. He fought in the lightweight division against Ludovic Klein, which is crazy. Fought in the featherweight division against Steven Eugen and Justin Lamperez. Now he's going down again, down to another weight class, down to bantamweight. And he's going to be a little bit bigger here than a lot of his previous matchups, where he looked pretty small against some of the previous opponents he's had, and has been outstruck by a lot of those opponents. And this might be like, oh, well, a lot of the matchups AJ is losing, he's getting outstruck in those matchups. Now he's going against a grappler in Su Young Yu. He should win this fight now, right? Well, Su Young Yu is still a better grappler than AJ Cunningham. It's, again, a lot of the other matchups, AJ was the worst striker, and he was getting knocked out by the better strikers. Now he's going against a wrestler in Su Young Yu, and he's got the wrestling disadvantage. So that's kind of how I see this fight going. He's got the height, he's got the reach over Su Young Yu, he's got the size over Su Young Yu, but Su's cardio is great. Mixes in takedowns well, and I think he's just going to keep taking down AJ Cunningham and controlling the fight on the ground, landing ground and pound, attempting submission, scrambling, and wearing on the gas tank of AJ. Again, AJ's moving from featherweight to bantamweight. His gas tank's going to be a little bit iffy in this fight, cutting down another 10 pounds from his previous matchup. So, again, cardio is going to go Su Young Yu, wrestling, grappling Su Young Yu. It's a tough one for AJ Cunningham. I think Su Young Yu will win this fight with the wrestling and grappling. I don't know if I'll say submission, because Su Young Yu is winning 3 decisions in a row. And again, AJ's never been submitted, so unfortunately I am going to go decision. The last time he was submitted was in his amateur career 7 years ago. I got this fight going all the way. Su Young Yu to 30-27, unanimous decision. Damon Blackshear and Cody Gibson in the bantamweight division. Odds are kind of crazy. Cody's got the wrestling and grappling, but Damon really isn't that bad on the ground either. So it's not like Cody can go out there and just have his way with Damon Blackshear in the wrestling and grappling. Damon is the better striker. Height is the same. Reach advantage goes Damon. Power advantage goes Damon. And just overall striking goes Damon. He's got the better kicks. He's got the better punches. And again, he's got the power over Cody Gibson. Cody needs to mix in those takedowns and wrestle and grapple. He's the older fighter. He's got to wrestle. He's got to grapple. But I don't think he's going to be able able to. Damon's takedown defense is pretty solid. Unless he's fighting a Farid Basharat, he's going to defend your takedown. So I think this fight does stay on the feet for the most part, and Damon outstrikes Cody Gibson for a 29-28 decision. Cody is a tough guy to finish. Let's see, when was the last time? A submission loss, again, what was this, 8 years ago? Another submission loss. What, 11 years? Yeah, come on, guys. Nobody's going out there and finishing, especially by knockout, Cody Gibson. 4 submission losses a very, very long time ago. This fight goes all the way. I got Damon Blackshear, 29-28 decision. Kurt Holobaugh and Alexander Hernandez in the UFC lightweight division. I'm going to go Kurt Holobaugh to go out there and lose this fight. Ladies and gentlemen, I was praying and hoping that I can make this an underdog pick. I really, really do feel that this is a pick'em here in the UFC lightweight division. You flip a coin. This fight can literally go either way in the UFC lightweight division. Kurt has the offensive wrestling. Alexander mixes in some offensive wrestling in some of his fights, but I think in this fight, the wrestling and grappling is going to go Kurt Holobaugh because he actually uses his wrestling and grappling. Striking, Kurt has the pressure, he's got the volume. Alexander's got the countering, and he has the power. I think Alexander barely wins this fight off of that counter ability and off of the powerful strikes that he's going to be able to land and defend some of the takedowns from Kurt. I really think this fight could literally go either way, though. Kurt can easily mix in a takedown or two throughout this fight, get a little control and ground and pound and just stay on top and win the rounds that way and stay away from the big counters of Alexander Hernandez and win this fight. Kurt is super, super live. My Confident Picks video will come out, and Hernandez is going to be way at the bottom. This is a 50-50 matchup in the UFC lightweight division. It is dog or pass. If you're betting on this fight, it's dog or pass. I just can't predict Kurt outright to win this fight. I'm going to go Alexander Hernandez. Probably going to be betting Kurt Holobaugh, to be straight up honest with you guys, though. Alexander Hernandez, very close decision. Sungwoo Choi and Kevin Vallejos. Volume in the punches going Kevin. Power going Kevin. Chin going Kevin. Kicking ability going Sungwoo Choi. Wrestling and grappling kind of obsolete. I don't think that's going to factor here. Height and reach going Sung. 6 foot to 74.5-inch reach. The way Sungwoo Choi wins this fight is he's going to be moving like William Gomez against Hyder Amil, staying away from the power and pressure of Kevin Vallejos, and that is how Sungwoo Choi wins this fight. On the back foot, staying away from the power and just leg kicking and body kicking and moving backwards and jabbing a 1-2 and using the height, using the reach. That is the outcome. Sungwoo Choi can win this fight. Very, very possible he could win that way if he's able to stay away from that power of Kevin Vallejos, but I don't think he does. Michael Trezano able to get inside and crack him. Sungwoo Choi able to get inside and crack him. Kevin is going to go inside, and I think he's going to crack him. Again, there's a outcome where Sungwoo Choi is very, very live to go out there and win this fight, but I think Kevin Vallejos should be, the favorite here to go inside and close that distance and land on Sungwoo Choi. So the odds probably shouldn't be this wide because there's a good argument for Sungwoo Choi to win a decision, countering and stay on the outside. But I think Kevin closes that distance and cracks that chin. Again, 68-inch reach, he has to close that distance. He's going to eat a lot. Again, that's why I think the decision odds should be pretty good for Sungwoo Choi. But I think Kevin Vallejos will get the distance closed and land a big shot on Sungwoo Choi. While his back is to the cage, cracks him, ground and pound. Kevin Vallejos, round 1, round 2, TKO. Lizu Zaleski and Chidi and Joe Kawani in the welterweight division. Age, pretty similar, 36, 38. A little bit of an age advantage for Chidi. Height and reach, significantly for Chidi. Power, honestly, pretty even. It just kind of comes down to can either guy let their hands go? Again, they both hit very, very hard. Chidi has a lot of power, knocking out a lot of dudes in the middleweight division. Kind of hasn't really shown that in the welterweight division, but in the middleweight, knocking out Mario Souza, Marc-Andre Barrio, Dusko Todorovic, knocking down Gregory Rodriguez as well. He's shown a lot of power in the middleweight division. The welterweight division, he's just not letting his hands go in a lot of these matchups, and he's clinching a lot with Reese McKee. Let his hands go a little bit more with Jared Gooden, who's got a pretty solid chin if we're being honest here. But I don't think there's going to be a knockout here. I think Chidi's going to win as a dog, and I think he's going to go out there and out volume Elizeu Zaleski. Comes down to, can he go out there and let his hands go? I think the power is very, very even, but the height and significant reach advantage of Chidi, I think it's going to allow him to land just a little bit more volume over Elizeu. And if the power is the same, I think the volume is going to go Chidi, and he's going to win as an underdog. No wrestling, no grappling, just a very close back and forth striking affair. I'm going to go Chidi 29-28. This fight could literally go either way, though. I'm going to go the dog, Chidi and Njokuani, by 29-28. Very close decision. Roman Dolidze and Marvin Vettori in the middleweight division. I'm going to go with Marvin Vettori. Barely. I think this is a fight that, again, just like the last fight, it was a 29-28, very, very close decision. This fight can literally go either way. It was a unanimous decision for Marvin Vettori, but it could have gone either way. It was like a year ago, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they fought, and Roman just wasn't letting his hands go. Marvin was. I think Marvin's got that 5-round experience. He's got the cardio. He lets his hands go in his fights. He's got an incredible chin. They both, honestly, have incredible chins, to be quite honest with you. I think this fight goes to a decision, and it's going to come down to Marvin landing more volume or Roman landing more volume. Marvin's got a little bit better of the kicking game, better leg kicks, and better body kicks. Roman, I think, hits a little bit harder than Marvin Vettori, but he's not going to rock Marvin. He's not going to knock out Marvin. So it's going to come down to that leg kick and body kick volume that Marvin's going to be landing. Punches to the face, I think he's going to be dead even on volume. I think Marvin might land slightly more powerful shots than Marvin, but the scoring criteria has to be effective. It actually has to go out there, and you have to show some effect on Marvin. Marvin shows no effect when getting hit in the face. So I don't think the punches in the face is what's going to matter here on the judges' scorecards. I think it's going to be very even on the volume there, and the effect in terms of the powerful shots that Roman's landing and Marvin's landing to the face of one another. Going to be very even, because you're not going to affect Marvin with a head strike. It's just he's a golem. He's a golem is what I gotta say there. He's a gnome. He doesn't get rocked when getting hit to the face. So I really think it's going to come down to the leg kicks and the body kicks of Marvin Vettori. It's going to be another very close, controversial decision, but I'm going to go Marvin Vettori to keep it really, really even with the punches to the face, and stay away from those big, powerful shots of Roman Dolidze. Mix in the leg kicks and body kicks. Kind of disregard the wrestling and grappling of Roman. Keep this a pure striking matchup in the middleweight division. I'm going to go Marvin Vettori. He's younger. He's got the better kicking game. A little bit better volume than Roman Dolidze overall. I think Roman can win if he's able to rock Marvin, but it's so hard to rock Marvin in these fights. So, very close fight. I'm going to go Marvin Vettori, 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46. Those are my full card predictions. I got a few underdogs on this card. I got favorite Marvin Vettori. I got underdog Chidi and Njokuani. I got favorite Kevin Vallejos. I barely have favorite Alexander Hernandez. That's a 50-50 fight. I got favorite Damon Blackshear. Favorite Su Young Yu. Favorite Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Favorite Stephanie Luciano. Favorite Diyar Nurgozhay. Favorite Josias Musasa. Favorite Andre Lima. But that fight can literally go either way. Those odds are insane. Favorite Josiane Nunes, and underdog Yuneisy Duben. So only 2 dogs, but there are live dogs in Daniel Barez as well as Kurt Holobaugh on this fight card. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Become a channel member. That pinned comment down below. Go check it out. Thank you guys for watching.